Moment.
Hey,
Excellent. Welcome, families. Thank you for bearing with us. Hopefully, I tried to send out a message via the chat, but I'm actually not sure if the chat works because it's not open on your end. So if that was a total fail, I'm so sorry. But the Q&A is open and I will be monitoring it and pushing questions for Linnea to answer live in the next like 50 minutes that we have together. So we will stay on track to be done by 1 o'clock and you can be off to your next thing. But Linnea Glick from the Division of Student Affairs Student Involvement is going to talk to us about some Pitt traditions. As a reminder, all of our webinars, so if you've got to duck out early, you've got something else to tend to, all of our webinars are recorded and posted to the Student Affairs YouTube page. And Linnea, now the virtual stage is yours. I will mute and take off my video so I don't take up more area on the screen, but happy to pop back in or unmute as the voice from beyond if needed.
thank you, Summer. So, hi, my name is Linnea Glick. My official title is Assistant Director of Arts Initiatives for Campus Programs. So, campus programs entails quite a few things here at Pitt. Kind of a merging of a lot of programs, mine in particular being with the arts. Arts initiatives where we connect students to Pittsburgh's art scene here on campus, but also off. And the Pitt News, which I'm sure you've heard of, WPTS Radio. But what I'm specifically going to talk about today is Pitt Program Council. This is like a university undergraduate programming board. They do concerts, lectures, on-campus events that can be something as sort of small, but also really large. And they also plan and implement a lot of our campus traditions. So we'll start a little bit more about program council there. These are all students. There are about, I'm going to say, what, 6 to 7 committees, and they cover things like special events, arts, travel, lectures. And each group has a kind of designated thing that they do. They create fun events that are inclusive. The big ones that are mentioned there are Fall Fest and Bigelow Bash. One of the things we're working on planning right now is the bonfire. This happens the Thursday night before the first home game. It's on the cathedral lawn. It's a way to get everybody, it's a bit of a pep rally, get everybody excited about the first game. It's an opportunity to introduce the football team and, learn a couple of the cheers and what it'll be like to be at the game, and in general get people excited about going to their first football game on campus. During homecoming, the students help plan a laser and fireworks show. We actually work with Zambelli Fireworks to make this happen. It's kind of it's loved by alumni and students and everyone in the community. It's the students pick the music. It's a fireworks display over the cathedral, and it's a really great addition to homecoming events. And that's going to happen on October 24th, excuse me. Around the time of homecoming, and it's a way for us to just celebrate Pitt and campus traditions. There are a lot of things that happen throughout the William Pitt Union. A lot of free food, really popular are t-shirt giveaways with students always, and we work with a lot of the student clubs and organizations to make that happen. Fall Fest. This is one of the big big events that happens for Pitt Program Council. Uh, it happens in front of Hillman Library. So we actually shut down the street, and our students are involved in every aspect of planning it, from picking the artist to, understanding how contracts work. They help build the stage and set up for the event, but also, enjoy the event. The food trucks that are there. But they also help tear down. So it's a great kind of learning experience about how this all actually comes together for students, and they enjoy the concert as well. Similarly, we also have a concert in the spring, and that's called Bigelow Bash. And same thing, students help plan this outdoor event. This one extends out a little bit more. We actually have an event beforehand that's a battle of the bands, where we pick a student performer to be the headliner for the event. We also partner with Greek fraternity and sorority life, so that when we build the stage, they will actually have their Greek sing the day before, and we will then have our concert on the Sunday. So this is my first time that I actually participated in Bigelow Bash this year. And then just a couple of FAQs for anyone who might be interested. These events are open to all students. Most of them are free. And they're usually, if you follow the We Do Pitt events on social media, that's where you can find out about upcoming events. All students, undergraduate students, are welcome to come and get involved and join a committee or volunteer. If you have an idea, find the right committee and, see if you can make it happen. And we are located on the main floor of the William Pitt Union and M30. Couple of things that aren't in there are, we do have a New York trip that happens every year. We're over Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and that is kind of for probably around just under $400. Students sign up for that, and then we hire a bus, get hotel rooms, and they go to New York for the weekend, see a Broadway show, probably go to a museum. They can sign up for that in mid-September. There's also a really great flower arranging event that happens on Valentine's Day. That's a big one. And I've talked quite a bit, so if you have questions, I'm open to them.
Excellent. We have a great first question. Lynn was reading my mind when she put this in the Q&A, because I had the same question for you, Linnea, which is Pitt Program Council established for this school year, or can students still join upper or first year? Lynn wants to know about upperclassmen, but it's about both for sure.
Yeah, no, we're recruiting at all times. Like, the students will have a presence at the involvement fair, so they can, new or returning students can come and join. And I will say we are just at the planning stage. So while the big events are definitely on the calendar, smaller events that students plan, that's kind of that is a work in progress. So like, one of the things, we had a movie screen on campus before it premiered, and that was something that was sort of figured out on in February before it was viewed in March.
Excellent. The Q&A
yeah,
is
we're always looking for new students. Sorry.
No, that's wonderful. I think Pitt Program Council is one of our #1 ways to get involved, because you can join a committee and give a little bit of time, or you can really become a leader in the organization and give a lot of time, right? There's lots of options for our students. But not only that, you don't have to get involved with Pitt Program Council. Their events are open to every student. And they tend to be really large, exciting, and energetic events. My kids are now 13 and 10, but they have been going to, and well, for the first couple years, watching the homecoming fireworks and laser show from inside the Union because it was too loud. And then they
Oh,
upgraded to wearing, headphones outside. And now we're fully without ear protection. We're ready for the fireworks at these ages. But yes, we have been going to the homecoming fireworks show. Like my kids think that happens at Pitt. They just think it's like, you know, something we go to every single year. They look forward to it.
yeah. Nice.
What other questions can Linnea answer in the Q&A? What this year, Linnea, has been you said this was your first time with Bigelow Bash and Greek Sing. What was your favorite event this year?
I kind of came in right around flower arranging. And that it's just a really lovely event. Like the amount of, God, you wouldn't believe how many flowers are there and the variety. And if you've been on campus, they set it up in the lower lounge, which is like right on the other side of my door. And it's open to everybody. It's just a really nice thing where, students can come in and make a bouquet, and they have materials to wrap them up. And, whether you want to just do it in brown paper or fancy paper, tie it up. It was really nice. They let faculty and staff come in and do it as well. I mean, we all know kind of how expensive flowers are, but it's just a really lovely, you can create a bouquet for yourself or for somebody else. So that was like one of my favorite to watch that. And people were really appreciative of it. So
Yeah, I like the flower arranging too. And I can't believe how good the lower lounge smells during it.
yeah.
It smells like you're immersed in flowers. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. We've got some questions in the Q&A. I'm going to push those to live. The first one is, how can students apply for program council? Is there a link? Is it online or in person?
I would say there is, I would say when your students get here, there's the involvement fair that happens the Sunday before classes start. They have a large presence, like you won't be able to miss them. They'll have 4 tables and you can sign up there. Or if you want to send an email to campus programs at pitt.edu, that's another way to inquire about our programming.
Sorry, I was typing that email in the chat, so hopefully everyone can see it. I haven't hit send yet, so nobody can see it yet. That way you can grab that for your student. And our other question is, do events like the New York City trip fill quickly?
They do. Um, th there are events that, yeah, that one will fill quite, like, they'll announce it and it'll fill quickly. This year we had the comedian Marcello, oh, I'm gonna forget his last name. He was on SNL. And the moment that was announced, I would say doors opened at 8 and the event was full by 10. So yes, the events do fill quickly. But some of them, it all depends on the popularity of it. So it's good to be, aware. And as I said, a lot of that stuff is announced beforehand. If you follow the We Do Pitt events, particularly on Instagram, you can learn about those events. They'll be posted. They send out an announcement. We use social media a lot for that.
Excellent. I also wanted to circle back to the bonfire, which is a huge event before our first home game, because it's
Yes.
also a wonderful way for, if your student is a new student who loved those large, energetic programs during Welcome Week, and we'll have a mix of those. We'll have a mix of smaller programs and larger programs, social programs during Welcome Week. If they loved those, the bonfire will continue that like feeling of Pitt pride and energy. Highly recommend it. And lots of special guests come to the bonfire as well.
Yes. which
Someone would like to know when the New York City trip is.
it happens the over Martin Luther King Jr. weekend.
Okay, so in
So
January. Perfect.
January.
So a little bit away, but good to start helping your student plan and think about what they'd like that experience to look like. All right, Q&A is still open. If you've got
Right.
any other questions about things. This question is, what programs are offered during Welcome Week? Can families attend? So Linnea, I think probably you and I can both answer this one because we have lots of programs offered. When you first see the Welcome Week schedule, there's hundreds of programs. And I understand that if you're immediately like, what? We can't get hundreds of places. I'm gonna turn my video on so I'm not talking to a blank screen. That seems weird. So when you first see that welcome week schedule and you're like, we're only here as a family for a few days while we're moving our student in, please do not panic about the large number of programs. We don't expect anyone to be everywhere, ever. What we are trying to do is, as a large institution, make sure that there are programs of size, energy, topic for everybody so that you've got options and your student has options to build that welcome week experience for themselves so that it's not too overwhelming, but so that it does help them to get acquainted to campus and make new friends and start learning their way around for that first week of classes. Families are absolutely welcome to attend programs. We've got lots of things along the way as well for our younger siblings, because we know sometimes you're bringing them to campus too, and it's hot, it's a bit of a trek, and so they're being great supportive siblings. And so we've got some fun things, some snacks, some coloring books, some stickers, some passive and active engagement for our siblings, because we appreciate them being supportive and being there. There is some family specific programming that you will see on the Welcome Week schedule. It will specifically say like Pitt families on the description line, but know that for our families, nothing is mandatory. Your first job is to support your student. If you're able to get to some of our information sessions and resource programs that happen Monday and Tuesday, that's when the bulk of our first year families are on campus, Monday and Tuesday of arrival and Welcome Week. That's when those programs will happen. Our information program, we will repeat virtually just like this in a webinar format. So if you miss it, don't worry, we're going to record it and you're going to be able to watch it on YouTube. And so you're not going to miss that. It's not going to happen one time and you're going to miss that information. We will make sure to repeat it for you and have it available for you. And then all of our families are invited to First Year Frenzy on Tuesday, August 19th. I needed to look at my calendar on my wall to make sure I was saying the right date. Tuesday, August 19th. First Year Frenzy during Welcome Week, there will be a family specific tent and section. But any other events on the Welcome Week schedule, if our families want to drop by, the hosts will probably be speaking directly to students, but you are more than welcome to attend. Linnea, if you want to add in, I see our Q&A's got some more things, so I'm going to open that up if you want to add
Yeah,
anything.
I would say, while you're here, take an opportunity to walk around campus on your own. I mean, we just opened up our library, which I haven't even gotten a chance over, like renovated. On the first floor, if you've been of the Cathedral of Learning, there are nationality rooms that are interesting to just walk around and explore. Yeah, your students with their Pitt IDs will be able to get into the Carnegie Museum for free, but if you want to attend with them, that's also something you can look into doing as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Hillman Library renovations are amazing.
Yeah.
And then there's also the largest of the Carnegie Library Systems library is in Oakland, and it's right behind the museum. You can see it through Shenley Park. And my family personally loves that library. I mean, yes, we have our local one, but that Carnegie Library is impressive for all of our book lovers and architecture lovers. It's a beautiful building. Questions coming into the Q&A before I go down a completely library-based rabbit hole. I'm sorry. Do you suggest joining or reaching out to clubs or that students may want to join now before the first years arrive on campus?
Oh, you know what? I would definitely take advantage of the involvement fair. only because, the student clubs are organized by students, so they're not necessarily on campus or answering their emails. But they know that, like, once welcome week hits and classes start, that's their time to recruit. So that would be the most effective time to get involved and reach out.
The involvement fair this year is Saturday, August 23rd, correct?
I believe they're 2 days,
Okay.
right? I think it's spread over because I know there's,
Is it Saturday? I'm gonna go look at the welcome week schedule
yeah,
really quickly. It's not published yet, but I'm gonna dig into a Teams file that we have, and I'm gonna get you those dates and put them in the chat so you have them for your student. But first, I'm gonna ask you another question while I do that, and
sure.
that is, do the events or clubs interfere with classes and academics?
Um, that's well, that they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Um, when each club finds a time to meet, and so, like, I know my board of directors, they meet early in the morning before they find a morning before they have class, or if they meet by committee, they meet afterwards. So, but there's so much going on that, there might be a club that meets when someone has a class, but you know, that yeah. Most of the events, these large scale events that we have are happening on the weekends.
Excellent. I put the link to the chat. I'm hoping people can see it. Even if someone could let me know in the Q&A, just a quick thumbs up or thumbs down if the chat's not coming through. I'm assuming it is, but assumptions are not always safe. Yes, it is. Thank you. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure. So I wasn't directing you to something that wasn't happening. The welcome week link is in the chat and they will post the schedule to there. The website also indicates that the welcome week schedule will be sent to your students' new pitt.edu email address in July. And I'm still looking up those involvement fair dates. I got distracted by putting that in the chat. Our next question, we've got two of these because this is a very exciting campus edition, is the new rec center building open yet?
Not yet.
No,
It's
it's
getting
so
there.
close though. Yeah.
Oh, so close. Not
Yeah.
yet.
We're also really highly anticipating that building. We're very excited, and it's in the final stages of all those last bits of opening a very large new building, but your students will get to enjoy it
We'll
soon
be
in.
excited for the construction to be done too.
Yes, that's true. It's true. Is there, the next question we have is there a master calendar we can subscribe to that has events, dates, locations included?
There is a university calendar that has pretty much everything from, dissertations to special events by academic departments. But I would recommend bookmarking Experience Pitt. And so that is where you will find the clubs posting their upcoming events and their upcoming meetings. It's something we started using heavily about a year and a half ago. For my programming for the arts events, that is where I post my events. I generally post them about a week before. Some groups put them out in advance, but that is the place where you will find a lot of student events. And as I said, some people are figuring out these details and they might not know in advance what they are, but that's just a good resource to find, particularly student organizations or student run events.
I also recommend bookmarking the academic calendar just so you have it, so you're aware of add drop period. Just double check if your student needs to make any add drop changes, any and all closures for holidays, university recesses, all of that is on there. The academic calendar is really helpful. It's not the most exciting to read. It is very text heavy, but it's very helpful information. Wanted to know about the rec center and possible date of opening. We don't have a date of opening. Again, I wish we did. I think we're all waiting for it. But I did put a website in the chat that goes, it's just reccenter.pitt.edu. And so all updates will be pushed there as well. Next question is really specific, but I want us to be able to address it so that you have an answer. And that is it mandatory to be on campus on August 18th, or is it okay to join 2 to 3 days late? And so that is really specific to your students' move-in day. I wish I could give you a much clearer answer about like, is it okay to join 2 to 3 days late? It depends on if your student is a first year student who needs to participate. There is some mandatory student programming during Welcome Week for our first year students. And so you would not want your student to be late to those because they are mandatory. So it really depends on your arrival date. If your student lives in the residence hall, and arrival dates will come to their Pitt email address a little bit later in July. So hope that kind of answered your question. I can't give you a yes or no specifically. It is really dependent on your student's move-in date. We have a student who's interested in joining Thon, as it's referred to in the chat, but we know here at Pitt, it's called Pitt Dance Marathon, PDM. Where can we get info? Linnea, do you have info on that, or do you want me to go? I can
I
find
don't
some.
have info. Again, I would say that is, I would say look at Experience Pitt and find that website. And you can look up student organizations on that. And then also they will definitely have a table at the involvement fair. So that is that honestly, it's the involvement fair takes over the Peterson Event Center. So it is, they use all the corridors and the court and the areas outside in the entrance, and all the student organizations are there. I think we have over 800 student organizations. So we try to get as many of them in there as we can. And so I highly recommend students going to that particular weekend. Now that is not the only involvement fair. So if they find they missed something or they're a little overwhelmed by everything, there is another one that happens in January when they come back for the spring semester. Smaller scale, but yeah, the Peterson event, it's a pretty big deal.
It is really large, and I have an answer from the schedule on Saturday, August 23rd. Again, referring to my wall calendar to make sure that is the club sports fair. So if you have a student interested in participating in a club sport or a recreational sport, a non-competitive, not an NCAA sport, that is the fair that they should go to. And then the involvement fair is that Sunday, August 24th, in the early into the late afternoon at the Peterson. My number one recommendation, and I've said this, I've been at Pitt for 18 years, and I have said this to students every single year for 18 years, is when you go to the involvement fair, it is overwhelming, and that is okay. Like, start your mindset there, that it's overwhelming. I mean, we have 800 student organizations, and they're really excited to introduce their student organization to you. Sign up for the email list of everything you might be interested in. And you might be like, but that's 100 things. That's okay. You don't need to then attend 100 general body meetings or those first meetings of those student organizations, but it allows you to go home, take a nap, and then start sorting through all those new emails that you get. Sign up on Experience Pitt to get that information, and then unsubscribe yourself if that's like not the club for you, that's not the organization you want to join. But I always say, like, go all in on collecting information and then allow yourself some time to weed it out so that you've seen all of your options. There is a question about Experience Pitt. Is it open to families? It seems to be an authenticated site.
Oh, yeah,
It,
yeah. You know what? You probably need
it
to
is.
have, for students need to use their Pitt ID to get into it. Yeah, their
Yes,
Pitt
they do need to
mail.
log
Yeah.
into their my.pitt.edu to be able to get into Experience Pitt, and that's because they're able to see other students' like contact information, um, which is only shared with authenticated users. So that is correct. But your student is able to get into Experience Pitt. Can you, yes, I can. I clearly can't read the Q&A and talk out loud. Just putting in the chat for that person, Pitt Dance Marathon. And if I understand correctly, it says first year room assignments will be released this month. That is correct. Your student will receive their first year room assignment in July. It's definitely after July 4th. I can tell you that housing says it's after July 4th. So if you're looking for it in the next 3 days, it's not coming these 3 days. So if that helps with your like preparation for it, it will be coming after July 4th. We have a family member who thinks Experience Pitt might have an Instagram account. That's helpful. Do we know? Or I can go searching for one.
Oh,
I'm happy to go searching for one.
no, but you know what Student Affairs does?
Mhm.
That's a great, that's open for everyone to follow as well. I would say if you're following Instagram, definitely Pitt Official and Student Affairs. Another thing is, have we talked about the outside the classroom curriculum at any point? Pitt's OCC also has is a very good source for events that are happening. But I would say definitely Student Affairs is a way to find out about what's going on campus.
Yes, I just put that username in the chat. It's at Pitt Student Affairs. So exactly as it sounds, but that is
Yeah.
the Instagram account. Any other questions since we've had a little bit of time? And if you have one of those sort of burning questions that's been happening and Linnea and I can answer it or at least direct you in the right way, we won't waste your time. If not, very great, engaging discussion about how to get involved. If you're a local family, I also recommend, like, if you want to come down and see the fireworks and laser show or want to visit your student during one of those events, it's an exciting time on campus. And just a reminder that our families are always welcome to visit their student on campus. Of course, you're always going to follow our housing safety protocols of checking in at the guard booth if they're in the residence hall. But you're more than welcome to always visit your student and check out some of our events.
Great. Thank you. I apologize about my delay, but thanks for listening to our presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. As a reminder, it will be on the Pitt Student Affairs YouTube channel. And we'll
Okay,
see
I
you
just saw someone that I went to college with. So
in the attendee. Just check out the attendee list. Okay. Oh, I love that. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you in August very, very soon.
all right, thanks.